Welcome to Issue Crew Movie Reviews. It's the show where the Issue Crew reviews movies. I know it's been a while, but we are back, folks. I'm your host, Riely. And joining me, classic character of the Issue Crew and Issue Crew movie reviews in particular, the founding co-host of this here program, back from the dead after so long absent from our universe. Kathy is here.
I'm not Kathy. I'm Demigloom. This
Oh
is my
yeah,
weed rap. Weed rap. I love rapping and I love weed. Weed rap. Weed rap.
weed rap. Demi Gloom's entire album, fucking Fag Time, is just gonna be all all weed rap songs. I love marijuana.
Yo,
I'm
Mary
gonna
Jane's
sit
my
in a
wife.
sauna. Fucking stupid.
Alright. Today we are talking about Old Boy. Uh,
Old boy.
this is definitely not the second time we're recording this because Riley had a piracy site open on his Chromebook.
It's not. I didn't have a piracy site open on my Chromebook. I had a mysterious ad-riddled website that I have a feeling may have come from, may have infected my computer via a piracy website in this hypothetical joke scenario that we're inventing right now as a bit for the podcast that didn't actually happen.
Yeah, hypothetically.
Hypothetical issues. But yeah, we're here to talk about 2003's Old Boy, the original Korean film. I had to watch a fucking foreign film with subtitles for Kathy again, but this one was not as insufferable to sit through as fucking Das Boot.
This
So
was a
I'm
really good
satisfied with
film.
that. Very good, I agree. But
Very normal.
you said it's your favorite film, right?
Yes, in fact it is. Very
Okay,
normal. Nothing weird happens in this movie.
nothing weird at all.
Alright, since I gave the plot summary last time and that was a sign of bad luck apparently, why don't you give it this time?
Sure. So there's this guy. His name is Otisu. He's just a
Odyssey.
regular. What?
Odyssey.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's how you pronounce it.
I heard them say Otisu. That I heard that out loud about a million times.
That's not how you pronounce it.
I don't make you pull up this fucking movie right now. It's definitely old
Which one
Otisu.
of us has
And
a Korean friend,
you didn't
Riley?
call me on this you didn't call me on this last time. So
Yes,
I'm
I
thinking you're
did.
gaslighting me as a new
I
bit.
did
I'm
call
thinking
you out on this last time. You just didn't hear me because you were too
I didn't hear
busy.
because I kept disconnecting. Despair. But how is it pronounced according to you?
Um, Odyssey.
Odusei. Does he
Odyssey.
does he change his name at some point in
Odyssey.
the movie?
No, it's pronounced Odyssey.
I swear they say Odusu, but whatever. Odusei. Mr. I'm not even gonna be able to talk about the movie if I call him Odyssey. I have to call him Odyssey because I'll want to say Odyssey every time. It'll throw me off. So maybe Kathy's correct. I'm gonna call him Odyssey. So Mr. Odyssey is just a regular old man, a little bit of a drunk, a little bit of a belligerent drunk, but otherwise just living a normal life. And one day he finds himself in the drunk tank, causing havoc for the police officers until his friend picks him up. And they go to give his daughter a call because he's got a family at home. He's got a 3-year-old daughter, just turned 3. It's her birthday, and a wife at home. And he calls his daughter up, has a talk with her. The friend wants to talk to the daughter, and he talks to the daughter for a little bit, and then he turns around to give the phone back to Otisu. Gone. Just gone without a trace. And it turns out Otisu has been mysteriously imprisoned. And this lasts for 15 years. So during the imprisonment, he obviously wants to exact revenge on his captors and trains to do so until he ultimately is able to get free and pursue his goal. I'd say that's about an adequate, general, quick and dirty summary. We can go into some more details about the film. I feel like it's best to go chronologically, even though I'm really bad at hosting a conversation that way. But I don't want to bounce around too much, so I'm kind of relying on Kathy to helm the path here.
So this movie, it's my favorite movie of all time. What was your opinion on the start of the movie, Riley? What did you think of Odyssey getting captured and tortured for 15 years?
It was wild. It's a long time to be trapped. That's a pretty damn good motivation for a revenge film. Is randomly being locked up for 15 years, and you don't even know the reason or like anything about who captured you at all. You just wake up in a fucking shitty like a shitty like D grade motel room essentially, and you just have to live there for 15 years, and they gas you to sleep at night. And
God,
it's
that would
it's
be so terrible, right?
I mean, to be fair, they never go into whether the gas is like harmful to his overall health. If I had
I
like a
don't.
button I could press when it was time to go to bed and it just filled my room with gas and I went to sleep immediately, that would be kind of convenient, I think.
I mean, yeah. Oh no, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Um,
It's okay.
yeah. So basically, yeah.
Huh?
So the gas. He gets gassed every night. But you forgot to mention something else.
Okay.
He starts training in the room.
Does he
Was he?
train? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like
yeah.
punching the wall and shit. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, it uses. What does he do to get out, Riley? I'm giving you a quiz.
Well, what he starts doing to get out is slowly but surely cutting a hole into the wall, to in order to escape through it. Even though he has no idea what floor he's on, he's perfectly okay with falling to his death if that's what it takes to be free from his prison. So he's just cutting a hole out of the wall. He's gonna, leave through the hole. But unless I missed something, it seems like before he ever got the chance to do that, that hypnotist bitch just like takes him out to a field. Am I remembering correctly?
Kinda, yeah,
So like
basically.
this whole like escape route he's digging ends up being pointless because they just let him out.
I don't think he really
Um,
cares that much, to be honest.
yeah, that's fair. As long as he's free, that's really all that matters. But this hypnotist does some hypnosis on him, and what we hear of it is not particularly intense. It's just like, oh, if you hear this bell sound, you're gonna look down. And that was it. That's basically all we heard. But maybe the hypnosis is a little more than we're led on to at this point. We'll find out later in the conversation.
Okay, yeah, I don't think the hypnosis had any impact on him at all, besides just getting him
No,
out.
no impact whatsoever.
Um, so he finds his way out, and he sees a guy.
Guy.
The guy who says, "Even though I am no more than a beast, do I not deserve at least one more issue crew movie reviews?"
That's what he said.
Yeah.
You were in the movie, actually.
Yeah, it was a suicidal person holding a dog. Just
The
kidding.
suicidal person who does ultimately kill himself. Is the
Yeah,
dog Does the dog also die? Because like he's holding him the whole time. The dog doesn't really impact into the car. But I
hopefully.
was trying to watch to see if we got the dog walking away in the shot, and we did not. So who knows what
Hopefully the
happened to
dog
that dog?
dies.
Hopefully the dog died. Fuck you. But yeah, that was a
I'm pretty
particularly
sure.
weird thing. Why is he? It's never acknowledged why he has this dog. I feel like I would ask that question.
Well, the thing is,
Why do you have this dog?
Odesu doesn't care. He's been trapped in a room for 15 years.
Well, like he saves the guy from killing himself and like talks to him a little. You think I just even if I had been in prison for 15 years, if I see a guy killing himself, I'm like, okay, good, get what you're doing here, buddy.
No,
What's with
no,
the
you
dog?
wouldn't. You would actually go insane.
I would go insane. I'm imagining I am insane and revenge driven in this scenario, but the fact that I spend any time conversating with the suicidal guy with the dog, I feel like I would bring up the dog.
I mean, okay. I feel like if you were trapped in this room, like I'm just imagining like a super like old buff Riley coming out.
I'd just be like, let me tell you my story. Also, why do you have this fucking dog? Where
So he
did the
escapes.
dog come from?
So he escapes. He goes to this restaurant, and he's like, goes to this restaurant, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I want to eat something alive.
Very very strange. Very I don't know why what the significance of that is. Just like give me a living sea creature instead of a dead one.
I mean, he wants revenge. He's very angry.
Okay, yeah, I guess like it's to take out his anger, but what did the fucking little octopus ever do to him, you know?
And then he meets this woman at the place. This random sushi chef who has no significance to the overarching story at all. Um,
No.
and eventually the sushi chef, she starts reading his letters that he wrote in, you know, while he was in there.
The wild violation of privacy. Or
Yeah,
does she do that in the restaurant or does she do that when she brings him back home?
when she brings him back home.
Okay, yeah. So that's an important part. Is after Mr. Otisu eats a fucking live octopus, and then passes out in the middle of eating his live octopus. He wakes up at this random bitch's house. She's taken him there, and she's reading through all of his prison journals. Not very nice of her to do. I guess
I
nice of
would,
her to not leave him passed out in the restaurant, but not nice of her to go snooping through his stuff while he's asleep.
yeah, I wonder why she didn't call the ambulance. Well,
Yeah, that's fair.
actually, I know
Good
exactly why she
question.
didn't call the ambulance, but
Well, yeah, we do know why. We know the reason, but we'll get there. Um, at some point, Mr. Hotasu attempts to rape this girl, kinda, little bit.
yeah.
That's
Then
that's interesting.
later events in the movie make it unclear how much of his fault it is. Can you hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I was thinking. I was ruminating. I hoped you had more. But
Um, yeah.
yeah, maybe it's not his fault given later events that we'll discuss. But very interesting start for the protagonist of this film. He fucking randomly, just- this girl has the kindness to like take him to his house to like nurse back to health, and he just like assaults her in the bathroom.
Hmm.
But then she doesn't seem too vexed by it. And they talk afterward, and in fact she's kind of into it. She's just not. She doesn't feel ready to do anything yet. So she's like, let's just feel this out, and then I'm gonna sing this song. I'm gonna sing this song that you wrote down in your prison journal that your wife used to sing, and then you can fuck me.
I can sing the song. Hold on. Hmm. Hmm, 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 hmm. Hmm, 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 hmm. Hmm, 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 hmm.
Beautiful, good song.
You know, that song is the main theme of the movie. I'm gonna segue this combo a bit, but
Okay,
the Oldboy soundtrack is one of the best movie soundtracks ever, and you should listen to it right now.
perhaps I should. There was a. Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can find. I would like to show you a track of music, Kathy, and I would like you to say if it perhaps sounds familiar. 'Cause, it was all I could think about the whole time. Let me
No,
see if I can find
no,
it.
I know exactly what you're talking about. No,
No, you don't. You definitely do not. If you have something funny, please do. But this is just like a song I heard in a show I like. Let me see if I can find it.
oh god,
Okay, I
if this is what I think it is,
100,000% not what you think it is. I will be extremely shocked if it's what you think it is.
what do you
But
think
let
I
me
think it is?
definitely not what I think. There's probably some like stupid song that like is reminiscent of this film, but this you can skip the like first like 12 seconds. There's like a lead up that does not sound like it. But then listen to this. Let me know if this sounds familiar.
Okay, is it the point where you reveal I've had like incestuous relations with one of my family members?
No.
No.
That'd be pretty funny if I had that, but I don't have that.
Okay, let me.
Have you heard of the
You
great
can
Oh,
skip
just
like the
playing an
first like
ad.
12 seconds.
Playing an ad, Riley.
We got you. Get
Yeah.
me started. Get all this and more with PC Game Pass.
I'm glad that
Come
we
on.
can hear the ad. I'm glad that you're making sure we can hear the ad.
Okay, 12 seconds in. Oh my god!
Yeah, right? This is the fucking song from this movie.
What the fuck? Why did
It's not exactly the same, but it's extremely close.
they steal it?
Well, which came first? I think this came first actually.
It would be so funny to me if he just copied
So the song I'm
fucking.
talking about for those playing the home game is the this title is not in English or Japanese for some reason. I think it's a whole different language. So I don't even know what the title's supposed to be. But it's the if you look up sad like Shurikenger, I guess is a spoiler for Hurricaneger. It's from the Super Sentai show Hurricaneger. If you look up Shurikenger death song, this is what comes up. And sounds extremely similar to a sad song from this film. And I believe this is Oldboy is a 2003 film. Hurricaneger was the Sentai of 2002. So I think it might predate Oldboy. So I think Oldboy stole sad song from Ninpu Sentai Hurricaneger.
I think it might just be. Well, first of all, did you know the entire movie of Old Boy is actually stolen?
Oh, tell me more.
It was originally a manga, which I only found out like recently, like 2 days ago. Recently.
Oh yeah, I knew that, but I figured it was a sanctioned adaptation. I wouldn't call that stealing, but I did know that it was based on a manga. Manga. I don't know why I said manga.
Manga is super different, and the ending is gay. So
Ending is gay.
yeah,
The ending of this movie is kind of weird.
it's straight though. It's very straight, in fact.
Very straight, extremely straight.
Possibly the
So
straightest.
I'm so tempted to skip ahead. So we should probably, if we want to go chronologically, we should probably pick up pick up pace here.
Okay, fine. You want to skip ahead? Fine. Let's talk about him
We do
meeting the.
with we usually go all over the place. You always hate that, so I was trying to let you go chronologically, but we're kind of meandering.
All
But
right,
there
all
are
right. Let's.
some.
Do you want to address the elephant in the room? The thing
I would
we
like to
didn't.
address the elephant in the room. I think this is an incest film. Uh, so the plot, the big twist is revealed to be that the plot the whole time is the guy who imprisoned Otisu for 15 years is some dude he went to high school with. And the day before Otisu transferred out of the high school, he just happened to walk to like secretly see this dude randomly in some sort of school part of the school, I think. Just fuck his sister, just straight up.
Yeah.
And he tells his friend about it, and his friend tells other people about it, and the rumor starts to spread. And then this girl mysteriously dies and mysteriously disappears at a dam and is presumed dead, and is in fact dead. And everybody thinks she killed herself, but no, he actually killed her. Well, she does kill herself, I guess, because like he tries to save her. Did he throw her off? Like, was Otisu right at all, or was he off the mark? Like that was
I
kind of
think.
unclear.
I think it's for you to determine. I think like you can. Like it's up to you to decide what he did. It's up to you to interpret because it's one of those films.
So what we see is the sister is hanging off of the dam. Brother has her arm grabbed, and he's like crying. And she's like, "It's okay. I'm gonna die now." And then she lets go and falls into the water. Because they think that she's pregnant and that she's about to, give birth to an incest baby. And I guess they don't want that to happen, so she's gonna jump off the dam or get pushed off the dam, depending on what you believe. So that's why, because Otisu's rumor that he inadvertently started led to everybody thinking that his sister was pregnant with his baby. and her ultimately dying as a result. So that's why it happened. And the plot of the movie, as it turns out, the whole time is hypnotized both Otisu and the girl. What was the girl's name? Do we know the
Mido.
girl's name?
Mido.
Ito.
Mido.
Okay. Mito. Yeah, yeah. I know we know it. I just wondering if you had it on hand. But yeah, Mito. He hypnotized this guy and Mito. They were meant to fall in love all along. It was all planned out, and the big twist reveal is that Mito is actually his his now 18-year-old daughter.
Ace.
Secretly. I mean, listen.
What? What?
I was about to defend it jokingly, but I couldn't think of any good talking points. But yeah, pretty mortifying. Kind of freaks Otisu out, rightfully so.
I mean, why do you think it freaks him out, though?
Is this his daughter? What do you mean? Why do you think it
Okay,
freaked him out?
okay, but why would that freak him out?
That he fucked his daughter? Why would that freak him out?
Yeah, why would that?
You know what, Kathy? Good point. Totally normal.
And the ending of the movie, God,
Is he gonna fuck her again?
it's so fucking bleak, and that's what's so good about it.
Because he doesn't die in the end. At least not that I remember.
He doesn't.
He has the girl hypnotize. He has the hypnotist girl hypnotize him to forget about the whole thing. Now, is he to forget that he fucked his daughter? Is he doing this to fuck her again? Is there
No,
anything? I think he might be. Maybe he
no,
was
that's not. No, it's because he wants to forget about everything.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Does he forget literally everything? Because the only
Hopefully,
right, but
hopefully, and it's not even.
the only thing that's explicitly stated that he's forgetting is like the secret, and I assumed the secret was Mito is his daughter. So in
Yeah,
my mind, I'm like, is he getting the knowledge that she's his daughter erased so that he could continue fucking her without knowing?
no, not so that he can continue fucking her because he's done a terrible thing and he wants to forget about it.
Okay, I know. I'm just fucking around. I wasn't expecting you to be so on the defense for Otisu.
I mean, geez, I just love incest. All right.
Incest is awesome, and I think he wants to continue perpetrating
Okay.
it, which is
To,
why.
to, to be fair, to be fair,
To be fair,
um, with the main villain, what Wu Jin did. That's his name, by the way, Wu Jin.
mhm.
Is like way more excusable than having sex with your daughter, like morally, at least.
I mean, I would say they're both extremely reprehensible, but I suppose if you had to put them on a ranked scale of which is worse,
Like at least
fuck it. Fucking your sibling in a similar age bracket is a little less fucked up than fucking your daughter.
I would say it's a lot less fucked up, actually.
Well, yes, I guess so. I don't know why I'm saying guess. Yes, correct. But I'm just saying they're both so completely fucked up that the comparison is not worth making to that degree.
I mean, listen, Riley, listen, listen. I don't have any siblings, so I can't really conceptualize incest. I guess it like just appears less worse than it is to me. Like
I
sibling incest,
mean,
at
I
least.
don't want to go. I'm gonna get canceled. We're both gonna get canceled, Kathy. It's over.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
If
I
you like,
mean, you are right. You, if a guy comes to me and he's like, "Okay, there's no way you can stop me. I am a magical being that cannot be stopped. I'm either gonna fuck my daughter or my sister right now." I'd probably be like, "Go fuck your sister," like I would, but they're both bad. I think.
I mean, it's just. Can you hear me,
What are you shaking?
maracas?
Oh, you asked if I could hear you. You were in the middle of a sentence. Yeah, I was listening.
Yeah, can you hear my maracas?
I can hear
I
your
got these for
maracas. Yes.
$5 at a gift shop.
Hell yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Um,
We'll see if
Uh,
those survive the noise cancellation. If they do not, Kathy was playing maracas.
basically, okay, the incest isn't the only thing in this movie. What did you think of
No,
what did
go
you think
ahead.
of what did you think of Lee Woo Jin?
The villain of the film. He was, delightfully dastardly. He was quite the villain. He was one step ahead the whole time. I gotta say, bro, maybe the like coldest villain thing I've ever seen. Almost is like 40 minutes earlier in the movie. He explains to Otisu, "Yeah, I got this button, and if the button is pressed, my heart will just stop. I die right there." And then later in the film, Otisu gets his hands on the remote in a big critical moment, and he presses it to try to kill Samu Jin or whatever. And instead of killing him, it just plays back the audio of him fucking his daughter.
Yeah,
That was pretty fucking raw. That was wild.
yeah, that was. And the thing is, we know he does have problems with his heart, like because at one point his like servant says to him, "Take it easy, your heart might explode," right?
Yeah. So we're led to believe that this is a genuine condition that he has, and we have no reason to think he's lying about the
Well,
remote.
I think
But
he's
then in the
telling the I think he's telling the
Ed,
truth about his heart, but
he's telling the truth about his heart, but he's not telling the truth about the fact that he has a remote that can turn it off. That was a trick.
yeah,
Said to the doctors, "Give me a button that can turn my heart off." And they were like, "What are
yeah,
you
that was
fucking kidding me?" And I was like, "I'll give you 100 grand." And they were like, "Done." 100 grand, which isn't even that much, and fucking like, sorry, I am racist. I was thinking it was yen. What is the Korean currency and what is it worth?
I don't know, but it's like
Is 100 grand enough for a doctor? 100 grand in Korean money enough for a doctor to reasonably go against his moral values and invent a button that a patient can use to kill themselves?
well, first you have to count for like inflation since this movie came out in 2003. I'm not. I don't know.
There's a lot of intense fucking economy math that has to go into this to determine whether this doctor was justified in his action. But the action didn't happen because it was all a trick. And that was like the most evil shit in the world. That was like my mouth was agape. That was wild.
That was and the fact that makes it funnier is that he killed himself immediately after that.
He died. Yeah, he kills himself like fucking 30 seconds later in the
So it didn't
elevator.
even matter if the remote was real.
Yeah. So he's still dead. That's fine. But like, he just had to get one last fucking bit over on him. And so why did okay? I what is his name? I had to get his name in my brain. I know
Lee
Wu
Woo-jin?
Jin.
Lee
Lee Wu
Woo-jin.
Jin. Okay. Yeah, Lee Wu Jin. He what? So why does he end up sparing the daughter from the knowledge? Do you think? Because that's what really confused me. This whole film, he's the most like sadistic person on the planet. He's got this whole plan coming together. He's got the daughter sitting in front of a box that contains the information. With the shitty guy that raped her earlier in the movie, that Otisu just leaves her with. By the way, that's another strange Otisu decision. Is earlier in the movie this chick gets raped and he rescues her from getting raped.
She was
Um,
I don't think she
and-
was directly raped.
well,
Just sexually.
she was sexually assaulted. I would consider like getting your tits sucked and thrown around non-consensually.
Okay,
I think rape is a good
you're
word for that.
okay. You're throwing the sucking thing in. That never happened.
No, well, he says there's literally a line. I don't know if you heard this line,
Yeah,
Kathy.
yeah,
Maybe you missed
no.
this.
I heard. I'm gonna kill you for touching Mito's breast, right? I'm gonna cut your hand off.
And he was like, "What about my tongue?" You remember
Uh,
that part? He says that. So yes, there
oh,
was titty licking going on at least.
also foreshadowing.
Or shit, true. So true. Because Otisu, when he is, breaking down about the fact that he fucked his daughter, um, like gets down on his knees and starts like begging the
He,
guy not to tell his daughter that this happened.
he gets a bit
Starts
he gets a bit freaky with it. He starts barking like a dog.
he starts barking. He's like, I'll be your servant. I'll be your dog forever. Look at me, I'm a dog. Bark, bark, bark." Um, and then ultimately, I guess he realizes that. Well, no, doesn't he say that he won't show it to her, and then he cuts out his tongue, or it's before that?
Before that, I think the
Okay.
reason Lee Woo-jin spares Mito is because he feels sympathy for her, because, his sister kinda went through a somewhat similar situation, I guess.
Yeah, maybe it's just weird because it seems like maybe he would have killed himself either way. But he doesn't tell the daughter, and then immediately after he doesn't tell the daughter, he's like, "Well, I have no joy to live for now." And that's when he gives the guy that's when he gives Otisu the remote. But then he kills himself in the elevator. And it seems like those two events are directly connected, where it's like, okay, if this was the only joy you had left in the world, why didn't you go through with it?
Yeah, basically.
Perhaps Lee Woo Jin had a little bit of a change of heart.
I mean
But, a pretty bad guy overall,
I
I
mean, I guess
think.
he just wanted revenge, right?
Yeah, you wanted revenge on Otisu. There was no need for him to mortify Mito in that way. She was kind of just an innocent bystander that needed to be involved for this eye for an eye type scenario that he was crafting. But yeah, I guess he ultimately made the decision to spare her of the trauma because his real target was Otisu.
I mean, what did you think? I.
Kathy is very capable of human speech, folks.
Okay, we gotta talk about the scene.
Scene?
The
There's a
scene.
lot. There's a lot of the scenes in this film, Kathy. You're gonna have to be more specific.
The one right after the dumpling subplot.
Where the one where Woojin kills his friend, the one where he fucks his daughter. What
The
scene are we
one
talking
where he
about here?
fights all those guys in the hallways.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty rad. Otisu can fucking fight. That punching the
Yeah,
wall really worked out for him.
I don't think you understand how much effort took to produce that scene.
I mean, yeah, it did look excellent. Like I'm sure there was a
Like,
lot of
all that shit
craftsmanship that went
had
into
to
it.
be choreographed.
Yeah, I mean, any fight scene, and it was choreographed extremely fucking well. I agree.
Hmm. I mean,
How did you
like,
how did you feel about? Okay, so I feel like both Otisu and Lee Woo Jin are like irredeemable, awful people. I don't know if you would disagree with that.
why do you think this
It's
way?
not really Otisu's fault because he did get tortured for 15 years. But like ultimately he ends up or at least he's a fucking idiot. Like the fact that first of all he tries to rape Mito, but like perhaps that was the result of the hypnosis. He just like I don't know. He does a lot of questionable things. Him him leaving the guy who raped his girlfriend to guard his girlfriend was a
Yeah,
pretty
that was pretty insane.
because the guy gets his hand cut off by Li Wu Jin. So he's like, I want to get that Li Wu Jin. And Otisu's like, sick. Now we're on the same side. Please take care of my girlfriend who you raped earlier. And it turns out he was in with Li Wu Jin, and he was gonna be the one who was gonna present, the box of evidence that she had fucked her father, and ultimately that part of the plan was scrapped, thankfully for Mito.
Yeah, basically.
The relationship almost like after the attempted rape, but if we just forget about the attempted rape, the relationship kind of got like a little bit wholesome at times. Like I got a couple ahs in there before I found out that she was his daughter.
What was your biggest awe moment, Riley?
I thought their farewell was kind of cute where she was like, "I'll pray for you. What should I say?" And he was like, "You should say, I pray that I meet a younger guy next time." Like I thought that was cute. And they kind of like depart with a joke. There were just a couple like little moments where it's like, oh, we're a little couple, we're falling in love. And as it turned out, there were some sinister undertones to that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck was going on there. Also, Riley, have you ever gotten DoorDash before?
I have gotten DoorDash many times. Yes.
This guy has stood outside Popeyes for like an hour.
Yeah, that happens. They do that sometimes.
Um,
How much did you tip him? Maybe he's just fucking with you.
I tipped him like $3.
Okay, that seems like a decent tip. How far is the Popeyes?
Like 15 minutes away. Like less
Okay,
than
yeah, that's
15.
that's a pretty decent tip then. I don't know what this guy's problem is.
Should I cancel this order? I can get a refund. How much is the refund?
If you can get a full refund, then you probably should.
I
Because
don't know
fuck
how
this
much
fucking
I don't know how much
asshole.
the refund is though.
Well, if it says you're getting a refund, I feel like it would clarify if it was like you're only going to get refunded like fucking $5.
I will wait like 3 more minutes. 10 more
Oh god,
minutes. 10
we
more
got a status
minutes.
update. Kathy really wants Popeye. She's like 3 minutes, no 10 minutes. Actually, I'll wait like 30 minutes, maybe 45.
Can we talk about the guy I'm interested in who is not my brother?
Wait, like your boyfriend that you want to get?
He's not my boyfriend yet. He lives kind of far away, like an hour away, and he can't drive. However,
Even when we're talking about Kathy's favorite movie, it has to loop back to how she wants to be held by muscular men. We have to. It always comes back.
did I mention how much I love short guys?
I feel like you have mentioned this.
He's like 5'6". He's exactly my type. He's missing one of his eyes.
Oh,
Yeah, it's really sad. He has
how'd that
PTSD.
happen? Oh,
I don't want to get too much into details.
yeah, that's fair enough. I don't
But
mean to
oh
make
my
you fucking spill the
god, this guy
beans,
is
but
fat.
oh, Kathy, I wish you luck in your romantic pursuits, and I hope that you have not been hypnotized and that he's not your brother that you don't remember due to hypnosis.
I really hope that he's not my brother that I don't remember due to hypnosis. But oh my
or
gosh,
your
let me.
or your son that you don't you don't remember that you're actually 45 also because of hypnosis.
Do I look 45?
No,
Motherfucker,
that's part of the hypnosis.
motherfucker, you better take that back.
You think you're hot, but in reality you look 45.
I am not a 45-year-old woman.
The
Oh
oldest
my
member of
gosh.
the issue crew, 1 year older than Mo Diggity, 45.
Let me talk about this guy. Oh my god.
Okay, welcome to the review of Kathy's potential lover. Let's hear
Let
about
me
him.
let me get a word out.
Okay, go ahead.
His dad is Irish, so he has like some sort of a like a Irish accent. He says words kind of like this, you know. Imagine I
Awesome.
had a good Irish accent, but at the same time, he lives like kind of in the country, so he has this southern accent. And so he
Wait,
speaks
five
with this.
five six manlit. Okay, so it's a manlit Irish accent. Kathy, are you crushing on a leprechaun?
Let me finish. He has this southern accent as well, and it blends in this sort of intoxicating combination. And he has this like southerner Irish accent combo, and oh my gosh, his voice is so deep, and everything he says just sounds so good. I just really like him. He's really sad. His last girlfriend cheated on him, which makes me really sad.
Oh, that is sad. He also has a pot of gold that he's very protective of.
If you fucking say this, I'm gonna fucking hypnotize you and force you to have sexual relations with your daughter.
Shit, I didn't even know I had one of those. Maybe I'm already hypnotized.
Yeah, I'm the fucking hypnotizer, bitch.
He's a pot of gold. He's very protective over. He has his iconic green outfit that he wears every day. Very hot outfit.
Um,
Anyway,
he actually could get Irish citizenship. And if I marry him, I get Irish citizenship. I've always wanted
hell
to move.
yeah.
I've always wanted to move to Ireland.
I hear there's good potatoes there.
There are, well, except during famines.
Yeah, I've heard there was a potato famine, but now that they've recovered for the
The
potato famine.
potato famine killed millions, right?
Yeah, I assumed that people died in the potato famine. I guess I didn't know it killed millions, but it doesn't shock me that you said
And
that.
millions more left for the United States. It's a really sad event in Irish history.
Listen, I'm allowed to talk about this insensitively because I'm Irish, so it's part of my culture.
Mm.
My great ancestors were affected by the potato famine. I mean, they fled. That's why I'm here because they fled from the potato famine, and then the rest is history.
Why the fuck don't you go to New York or someplace? You're not supposed to fucking be in Florida. Go back to where you belong.
Well, I mean, my family hails from Massachusetts.
Go
We
back to
moved to Florida.
Massachusetts, bitch.
Massachusetts would be better. I do like Massachusetts more than Florida, but I couldn't say no when we moved because I could not say any words yet. I was still an infant, so I
Do you
really
know
had
how
no
much
say in the
higher the
matter.
standard of living is in Massachusetts when compared to Florida?
Probably higher, I would imagine.
Yes, a lot. It's like the
And
second highest.
I just don't have the financials necessary to move to another state right now. But I definitely do want to get out of Florida because the norther I go, the better I feel. I think I have the northerner in my blood because I come from generations of Massachusetts folk.
Do you just
Just the
not like
farther north I go, the better I feel.
do you just not like the South? Or is it because you're fat and, you're built for cold climates?
It's probably good. That's part of it. Like I do enjoy the cold, but there's just something
The cold
maybe
never
almost
bothered
maybe almost
me.
spiritual about it, where I'm just like I feel more at home in more northern places. Just like the aesthetic is more pleasing to me. I don't know how to explain it, but like I've been to Massachusetts recently. I've been to Ohio recently, and I felt significantly better in those two places than I do in Florida.
Hold on, I have a song.
They're not going to be able to hear the song.
What do you mean they're not going to be able to hear the song? Does that not work?
Other song.
You let me play it on my phone, bitch.
Okay.
Let me turn noise suppression off. And I'm about to say, do you think you're a true Slav? You know what? This is not a good bit. Let's not do this. Let's just end the
No.
fuck.
Oh, wait, are we done?
I mean, I
You have more to
guess.
say about Old Boy? You just kind of started talking about this guy you had a crush on, and we got completely off of Old Boy.
I think we got off Old Boy like before that. I'm done. Do you have anything more you want to say?
I mean, I was about to ask a question that we got caught up on a side tangent for, which was I was saying that Wu Jin and Mr. Otisu were kind of like irredeemable bad people. But like when it comes to the other characters in the movie, do you have any particular thoughts about them character wise? Because I will
Mm.
say I liked Mito. She was a charming character.
I felt really
I
bad
I
for
enjoyed
her.
her presence. I felt really bad for her in a lot of parts, of course, but when she was just running around being Mito, she was quite the charmer. Um, I liked her. The friend was cool. I liked that guy. He was a nice guy. Unfortunately, got stabbed by a piece of a CD, I think, by Woo Jin because he called his sister a slut like 8,000 times. It's almost too convenient that her brother happened to be sitting right next to him. And he's just like, yeah, she was a real fucking whore. She was whoring out all the time, fucking all the guy. What a big slut. What a giant slut. I would have liked to get in bed with that giant fucking slut. And it just so happens that her brother is sitting right next to him and that he doesn't know it.
Yes.
Unfortunate fate for him. But I did enjoy his presence in the film. And like I said, Wu Jin, extremely menacing villain, one step ahead the whole time. Lots of very evil moments. I quite appreciated him as the villain. Honestly, I feel like the least like enjoyable character was probably Otisu. But I say that
What?
no. His journey was the focal point of the movie. I'm talking about just in terms of like on screen personality, like how much I enjoyed them just as like a guy rather than what the guy was doing. Like his journey was enthralling. Obviously, he was the main character of the film, and I think his story was quite well told. But I'm just saying, in terms of like personality and likability in like conversation, like while I'm listening to them fucking talk in Korean and reading it, when it comes to who's the most like enjoyable, I would say Otisu is at the bottom of that pack. But obviously, his story is the crux of the film. I'm not saying that that's not good. I'm talking strictly like personality wise.
Hmm.
But yeah, overall, very good film. I'm glad that I watched it. I'm not even mad at you that it's a foreign film and that I didn't have to that I had to read. It was worth it. I quite enjoyed myself.
God, I want that Irish guy so bad.
Alright, we know you wanna marry the Irish guy.
No,
Let's talk
it's not
about.
even not even physically, Riley. I just want him emotionally. You don't understand it.
Well, that's why I said it. That's why I was gonna say fuck, and then I switched it to marry. I already knew what you were gonna say, and you said it anyway, even though I already, I already corrected myself. But we got to do wrap up questions, Kathy. I don't know if you remember how the show goes. It's been a while. We got to do some wrap up questions. So, Kathy, who's your favorite character in this film?
I think Lee Woo-jin. He's just a great villain.
Yeah, I kind of want to give it to Mito just because she's very charming. But overall, Lee Woo Jin, again, extremely villainous, very enthralling. I kind of have to give it to Lee Woo Jin as well. I agree with you there.
All right, Riley. What is your favorite scene?
Probably the incest scene. Pretty hot. No. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It was the rape scene. No, I'm kidding again. Okay, for real though. My favorite scene. I mean, it was genuinely probably the scene in which Lee Woo Jin tricks Mr. Otisu into thinking that he's about to shut off his heart, and in reality, it just plays the audio of him fucking his daughter. That's the most like evil shit I've ever seen done on cinema. It was fucking crazy. I think that might be my favorite scene. What about you, Kathy?
Fuck, I might have to disagree with you. I think my favorite scene was when he was fighting those guys in the hallway. No,
That's fair. If,
no,
if it was based, if it was entirely based on like visual majesty, I'd have to give it
no,
to
it
that too
wasn't.
because it
Who,
was
who am I
very well
lying?
done.
Who am I lying to? It's the scene where Odyssey breaks down and like cuts off his own fucking tongue.
It was raw as hell. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. That was definitely a good scene. Now, Kathy, I think I know your answer to this, but just for pleasantry's sake, what do you rate the film out of 10?
Um,
She's thinking about it. She's thinking real hard about what rating to give her favorite film ever in the history of the planet.
11.
There you go. Good job. We're gonna call that a 10 canonically, but it could be an 11 in your heart.
No, what's your
As
rating, you fucking weirdo?
as for me, where did that come from? As for me, uh, I mean, I don't think I would give it a 10. I don't think this was a perfect piece of cinema as you seem to, but it was extremely good, extremely enthralling. Well, hmm. Now I think about it, I can't really think about something I didn't like about Oldboy. I think it might actually be a 10. I've talked myself into it. Like I can't like everything was extremely well done. Twists and turns that shocked me. Although I started to figure it. I probably figured it out when everybody else figured it out, but I figured it out a bit before it was revealed. They kind of foreshadowed it pretty heavily leading up, and I was like, oh, that's what happened here. Uh-oh.
Wait,
But
you
yeah,
figured? Wait,
it was
how
like
many?
the same. It was like the same scene, but like, but way the scene in which it is revealed is like a fucking half hour long, and about 5 minutes into that half hour, I was like, okay, yeah, I know what's happening here. The conversation starts about him fucking his sister, and about his revenge. I think it was when he said the question you should have been asking is not why did I why did I imprison you? It's why did I let you go after 15 years in particular. He put a lot of stank on the particular aspect of 15 years, and immediately my brain was like, his daughter was 3. And it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, pretty intense.
Also, 9/11 is in this movie, so pretty
Yes,
good.
yes, it is, which was very funny.
There's a montage of like all the big historical events that occurred while Otisu was imprisoned, and a lot of it is Korean shit, and other Asian countries, but they got 9/11 in there. They made sure we saw that.
Hmm.
Yeah, very good movie. I'd say probably a 10 out of 10 film. Very good.
Very nice.
I'm surprised you are so into this movie, Kathy. I thought that if a sex scene happens in a movie, you immediately hate the whole thing.
Riley, you know I'm not Catholic anymore, right?
Ooh, ooh, no, that is new Kathy lore to me.
I fucking hate the church. I'm like an
Damn.
atheist.
Okay.
I'm an atheist now. They fucking stabbed me in the back, but I don't want to talk about it on recording.
Okay, we could. I was about to say, do you want to talk about it on recording? Because I definitely want to talk about it off recording. If not, but either way, the new Kathy
I
lore
like
just dropped.
Riley, I like having sex. I have had sex
Taste. Well,
with
I'm not
men.
saying you don't.
With
I'm
men,
not
for
saying you
the
don't want
record.
to.
With men.
Fair,
With men.
fair,
Only
100%
men.
fair. But
Don't.
I'm referencing our. Never mind. What I'm referencing no longer exists. I forgot about that.
Wait, what?
There may be a certain film that perhaps in another parallel universe we reviewed that you cannot find anywhere because it was in a parallel universe and not in this one. We reviewed a certain R-rated film in which there are tits and sex scenes, and you were like, the fact that there's sex scenes in this movie ruins it for me. So that's what I was referencing.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay.
But yeah, that's what I was thinking. Immediately a sex scene happened, and I was like, wait, this is Kathy's favorite movie.
Mm-mm.
You see, unfortunately, the tits in this movie are tainted because they're either incest tits or rape tits. there's no, there's no wholesome tits in this film, unfortunately. But folks, I think that about wraps our conversation about Oldboy. Thank you for coming back, Kathy, to discuss this great piece of cinema. I imagine our viewers can't find you anywhere, but I suppose I'll ask that question out of courtesy, just in case I'm wrong.
They can't, and they won't.
Okay. They never will find you. It's over.
God, I want this Irish guy.
Folks, you can find me at linktr.ee/Riely Cinematic Universe. That's RIELY Cinematic Universe. For all sorts of podcasts and YouTube channels, all sorts of content. You won't want to miss it. You should also subscribe to Demi Gloom because every Saturday around noon Eastern Time, we have a live streamed podcast called The Trans Fat Experience.
I fucking hate
Um,
Demi Gloom.
well, I love Demi Gloom. We do the Trans Fat Experience together, and it's a great show, and you should listen to it. The folks at home, not you, Kathy, because you hate Demi Gloom. But the folks at
Tell her
home, you
to
should listen
die next
to.
time you do an episode.
Yeah, I'll pass the message along. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Have a good one, everybody.